Hey everyone, welcome back to Game Fun, and my name is Dave, and today we are doing another Kickstarter preview and get ready to decorate the halls with Dungeon Decorator. Let's go. As a disclaimer, this was sent to me by Slugfest Games, and this is all subject to change. This is a prototype. A lot of the art hasn't been finalized, and you'll get a basic flavor on how the game plays. And with that being said, we have everything in this box to really show you how the game plays, so you can get an idea if this game's for you and if you want to back the Kickstarter. Now, Slugfest Games makes Red Dragon Inn, and man, I love me some Red Dragon Inn. But they have been branching out lately and doing different games, and this is one of them. And this is a dungeon decorator. The Overlord has died, and well, people are trying to become the new Overlord, so you're in the dungeon decorating the dungeon for different overlords, and they have a particular taste. And this is a tile laying game that has the mechanism of flipping the tiles, and each one has different things that you can do, which is interesting. There's a lot of different little powers that you can have. Also drafting. I really like drafting. Now, I'm not going to get into my opinion on this. I'm just basically going to show you what the game has to offer, and then at the end just give you some comparisons of what I think this is about and some of the things that I might like to see from the Kickstarter in the future. So let me go down to the table, we'll show you the components, and remember these are just the components for the prototype, and then we'll show you how to play, and then we'll go from there. Let's go. Alright, so this is what you get in the box. Now this will be different than most of my component portions. Now again, this is all subject to change, but I do want to give you a feel of how the game is starting to turn out. So what we have here are a lot of different tiles and nice velvet bags of 2 different colors. That's important. We have a dwarf, so we are winning already. I love dwarves. And we have these player boards. Not all the art is rendered on that quite yet. We do have scoring boards, different tiles that are your assistants. You have cards here that actually I like the back art quite a bit on both of them. It's really cool. I honestly hope they keep this. And that's pretty much it. Now let me show you how to play this game. Alright, so this is the game set up for 3 players. Your goal is to get as many points as you can up into the point that you draw 3 of these timer tokens from the red bag. At that point, the game ends, you tally up your scores. Now the way that you get points is by drafting tiles and making your dungeon applicable to the goals up here and or cards that are in your hand. So everyone will start out with 2 of these shape cards that they can get points on. As you can see, the stars up here, and what you have here are squares, are hallways, and the little hexagons are rooms. And as long as you remember that, you can pretty much know what you're getting yourself into. I did get some cards mixed up here, but you also do get some of those decorations, so those also have points, and they have rooms, and then they have these icons that are treasure chests, torches, and stuff like that that you're going to be putting on your walls in your dungeon, and then you can play these cards. Now in addition to getting those, you have points up here that everyone can go for. Now the spider, you only draw 1 of these bosses and or mini bosses, so the spider here, whoever has the most cobwebs is going to get the top score of 10 points, second most is 4, and they don't have any art on here. Again, this is subject to change, but the player with the most 4-way tunnels, so you can have different way of tunnels, gets 10 points. Now this is another one here, 3 points for each treasure chest that you have in your dungeon, 3 points for every blue or purple. And there's tons of different ways you can get points, but it will vary because there are tons of different cards and you only pick 1 of those, and you have a ton of different variations that you're going to be having in your hand. Now, in order to get tiles, you're going to be drafting them. So the ingenious way of this is you're going to be drawing tiles out of this blue bag and this red bag. We discard 20 tiles and put 50 in one, 50 in the other, and put 3 time tokens in the red. And when you draw these out, when you replenish the board, they have little numbers on the back. But you have them put here, and then the person that is on the left side goes first, and if they want a stronger tile, they can get that, but they're going to be a little bit later in the next turn, depending on where the other people go, to decide to get the tile. Now there's this middle thing here, which means you can decide to get cards and or draw tiles from the bag instead of getting one side on the board. Now let's go over the anatomy of a tile. Now there are the decor right here on this side, and then the tunnel and or room side. Now, the middle part here is an assistant. There are 4 different assistants that you can get. This one right here is the Arcane Architect, and they allow you to take one of your tiles already established in your dungeon and move it to another place, but you can't flip it over to the other side. See, when you take a tile from here, you're either going to choose this side or the decor side. This one right here, he is basically, I can't remember his name, but he reminds me of an imp. So you get one of these tiles when you grab him, and these little spots right here are wild. So you can use them for any decor when you complete a card, because you'll be completing these cards as you go and getting points, and then drawing more up to your hand of 4 at the end of your turn. Now, you have to have one of these tokens though in order to use this wild. So when you have a face here, you'll gather a token, and then in order to use one of the green spots, you have to use one of these, and then you're going to have to get another tile in order to replenish your imp or whatever its name is. It was the mimic, that's what it is. Now, these are the Burrowing Brothers. Now here, you're allowed to draw 2 tiles, and in addition to the one here, and you can choose one that you want to use and discard the other 2. Now again, as the bag dwindles down from the blue, this will, when it's extinguished, you'll go to the red, and that will potentially end the game much faster. The last one here is the Goblin Sapper. Now he allows you to get a free tile right here. They got like a blue border, and they have different sides, either a hallway, straight, narrow, or a room. So that's what you get. Now let me go over what a dungeon looks like and the legal moves on what you can do with tiles. Alright, so when you're placing down a tile, you're always going to have to take the tunnel and be able to make a straight line, with a very few exceptions. So in that way right there, that's a legal move. But when I cap it off with a room here like this, I can then put a tile that has a hallway going to this kind of wall from the room if I want to. That would be a legal move. Hey there, Miko. In rooms other than colors, and like I said, you've seen what colors come into play, but there is one other. There's like a dragon hatchery right here, and it has a star on it, and this will correspond with cards, and at the end of the game, however many of these that you have, you get 3 points per star. Now it does have it on the decor side, but if you have it on the decor side, it doesn't count for points, only if you have it on the hallway side. Okay, so here I'm able to play this card because I have this hallway surrounded by any hallways that I want. And remember, the squares are hallways. That would give me 9 points. I would play that, and then at my end of my turn, I can choose either one of the decor or shape cards, but I like the shape cards, so I'll go for those. And there are many different shape cards that you can do. These are wild colors, and like I said, the star has to be, that's a dragon daycare, that's what it was, that's what I was referring to. So that's how those work. Now let's go over the decors. Now this is what you have to have. You have to have one of both of these here on the room, and it's the power room with hopeless chest, so you get 10 points if you can do that. Now, in order to get a decor, you have to place it on the outside of a room on the black side. So this is saying that this skull and crossbones, let me get a little closer for you, that right there is now on the wall, and that's the only decor that's up at the moment. But if I place this right here, now I have 2 skull and crossbone decor because I was planning ahead, and this is a legal move. And you can see on the back here, if you flip it over, it will be green, and the decor corresponds to how many outways or entrances it has. So this is a room, of course. Now this can go right here and set yourself up for more decor. And there are just tons of different things: webs, torches, treasure chests, little icicle teeth things, levers, the wild thing like I said before, and keys. So you'll just continue to do that, building this up. There is one thing that you can do. So when you take a tile, you can either choose to use it, or you can put it in your storage to use for later. And then when you have it, you can, on your placing tile turn, you can place multiple tiles if you like. And you cannot place a decoration on top of another decoration. That's not a legal move. And that's pretty much it. You'll continue to do that, drafting tiles, getting cards, and playing them once you complete them, and keeping a hand of 4 until the third timer gets drawn out of the red bag, and again, that ends the game. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. When you get to 50, you just go back to the start and you claim one of these little tokens. So now, let me go over a few more points. So that is Dungeon Decorator, and it's a pretty solid game. I think it needs the finishing touches. Things that I would like to see from like an upgraded Kickstarter campaign would be the pawns, make them cool miniatures. That would be just a little touch that would go a long way for me. And more dwarfs, always more dwarfs, love dwarfs. Man, if I ever got made as a dwarf in a game, that would be like a dream come true. And I think just some more various tiles, but everything else, this has all the ingredients. Now we just have to stir it a little bit and add the finishing touches like the art. Slugfest always has fantastic art. I love the style. I can't wait to see what they come up with. And the twist that the tiles have two different sides, I definitely think it's going to have a uniqueness to it to kind of bring this to the table over other tile games. So if you want to back this Kickstarter, if it's going on right now, well, it will be down in the description below, a link to go ahead and join it at the moment. And Fine Nation, let's go and back this game, because I would love to see a deluxe kind of nice version of this, because the aspect of this, like building up your dungeon, this kind of reminds me of like a Dungeon Keeper, if you've ever played that computer game, which one of my favorites. So having a fleshed out version of this just makes me get chills. And thank you so much, Slugfest Games, for supporting the channel and allowing me to take an early look at this. It really is fascinating. And thank you so much, Fine Nation, for joining me in this preview. And until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. Now go out there and decorate your dungeons. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance the dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.